everyone, and welcome to the Heart to Heart podcast. My name is Alex. I am a sound artist, also known as Wild Anima. This is a space where I invite inspiring individuals to discuss topics on ecology, sustainable healing, and the art practice as an expression of our authenticity. And today I welcome another one of my lovely artist friends, painter and mixed media artist, Danielle Benvenuto, who is originally from upstate New York and has also lived in New York City itself, where she worked as a psychologist for 10 years and decided to stop her career and move to Berlin to become a painter. So, hi, Danielle.
Hi.
And how are you?
How am I? Yeah, I'm good. I'm super happy that the spring is here. The winter was rough. I really felt this past winter this was rough times. But yeah, I feel the sun is out and my mood is shifting and yeah.
Yes. And yes, this winter was like a big deep dive into, I mean, all winters are, I guess, but I do feel like coming out of such a like a deep earth hole.
Yeah.
and and yes, I'm really happy to have you here because we really share like a deep connection with the earth as a being. That's really where we both connected on our first meeting, and there was such a mutual understanding of words we used when we were talking about like kind of earth as a spiritual thing. Holistic kind of picture of it. And we met recently. I came to visit you in Berlin, and you were telling me how you were going through a deep process on with peace,
Yes.
like
Uh-huh.
peace as a journey. And I found it really interesting, and we were sharing really lovely topics. So I thought, why not share it on the podcast, and going through a live discussion, we like actually uncover ourselves what it means.
Exactly.
There has
Yeah.
been a lot of changes recently. I'm talking for myself, like huge life changes happening, and I feel that's very connected to that. But I would love to hear where you're at right now.
In terms of the peace topic. the
Exactly.
peace, the peace theme. I mean, I just sort of realized, I think, in the last year that I'm not in peace. There's been so much creativity and so many ideas and so much like excitement and passion. And in that, I started feeling over time I was getting exhausted. And I realized I was like not totally in peace for many different reasons. And so, yeah, I think one is like, I think in speaking about the creative process, it's like for sure, like it's a fire energy. So I think when you're so creative and you have so many ideas and so many things you want to make happen, you really have to know how to like channel that fire. Otherwise, like it could burn you.
Yes.
Or, burn or whatever.
Yeah, literal burnout as well, like just literally.
Burnout. Yeah. Yeah.
Literally.
Passion can be exhausting.
Yeah.
Too much energy. We often think of like exhaustion as something, as a lack of something in some ways. It can be,
Yes.
and I started realizing, wow, like I'm exhausted by all of my energy. Like, it's too much energy. And like, so it's like really, I've been learning how to like channel it so that I can use it, so I don't have to feel exhausted by it.
Yeah.
And I think that takes also just in terms of the thing with peace is like a structure. Like we need to create structures in order to like find some kind of peace. So, I mean, there's so many directions I think we can go in, but
Yeah.
I think like one basic direction is, because I think about like this, I mean, there's the mind chatter. Of course, we all have like our addiction to thinking, which causes lots of um, inner disharmony, I would say, the way we're thinking about things. But like just on a basic level, I think about like, we need like water, food, and shelter, you know, to
Yeah.
start with, you know, as this basic sense of peace, and financial, like this sense of that we're like feeling rooted, you
Yeah,
know?
this is a big topic right now.
Yeah, because right, you just got a new job, and I just was
Yeah.
like, oh my God, I'm like, I've been like, you know, every month I'm like, where's the next paycheck coming? You know, and like, I'm like, I need to like
Yeah.
figure that out because like to find some basic way of like creating like, I don't know, like a sense of where,
Container, kind of like like
here.
literally something that contains you, not a container where you can put things in, but a container that contains you.
Yeah, I need a container. Bring me one.
And
Yeah.
yeah, very interesting. I totally relate with this thing, and like especially I was just thinking after the 2 years of coronavirus pandemic, in a context of a working artist, it's been a tough journey. I mean, I think
Yeah.
everyone's heard it. Probably everyone's heard around them, their artist friends, or like anywhere else on YouTube, on the radio, on the TV. I don't know any kind of place. Maybe people are bored of hearing this, and I'm laughing as I said, but it's not funny. It's been really, really tough. It's been a really tough time, and like really triggering deep instinctual fears and primal. um I have found myself in really primal states of like real worry, and like I don't know how I'm gonna cope the next day. Like
Yeah.
states like that. So I've definitely been confronted with like, hey, where is my inner peace, like at least this one, and like with, of course, we are in a time where the war in Ukraine has been coming. So like, there's like peace messages all over the world.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
seems to be a big topic on this planet, actually. So it's like in ourselves and also totally outside ourselves. So absolutely, it's been actually like how to say, like a daily struggle of
Yeah.
finding just like a very simple peace, just like how do I stop worrying, because I don't know, it's like you're so full of like anxieties.
Yeah.
But
And on so many levels, because we're dealing with our own individual anxieties and our own individual paths that give us our individual things we deal with, but then we're dealing with like a collective angst.
yeah,
Like the 2-3 years, you know,
it
the
amplifies
COVID,
it, everything
it's,
gets
yeah,
amplified.
yeah, and then being like stuck in the house, and like this
Yeah.
restrictions that were, you know, getting for me to be too much, and it was just like this really like feeling of like being suffocated somehow. And yeah, so there's like in this moment in time, I think it feels more heightened as well because
Yeah,
of
there's
issues,
a
but I mean there's other world issues, but
there's
I
a
mean,
huge
like,
spotlight. Yeah, yeah. There's a very big spotlight on it. So it's like totally like I don't know, it's like little antennas that make it bigger and bigger and bigger. But on the
yeah,
other hand, there's also an antidote to this, is that like I think once you become aware of it, it like actually um the opposite effect happens, where you do find a calmer place in yourself, which also amplifies, and that's like the
yeah,
nice side of it. And like the really deep message I've received in the past 6 months, and that really made me find like a breath of fresh air, was being at peace with what is, at least
bingo, yeah, I
peace
would,
with what is. It's a
mhm.
chaos, but like I'm at peace with what is, because, and that was a huge revelation for me, especially I've also been in that, and I think it's a beautiful thing to be an artist, like choosing that path and like wanting to do a lot of things and having tons of ideas and feeling all this energy. And I have also experienced burnout, like serious one during the first part of the pandemic, because I was in such a like a full like bloop, 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 like, I was on a really fast bike doing my thing with music and everything, and I got like stopped. I crashed on a wall, really. So it's
Yeah.
like in this huge burnout. But what was I saying? Don't know.
The peace with what is. It's like, I think that
Yeah,
is peace, right? Peace is, I was thinking about this before, like the quality of peace is one in which we are good with what is in this very moment, not trying to be somewhere else,
exactly.
somebody else, whatever, that's inner peace. We're good with what is. And that's a fucking huge challenge at
Yeah,
times, at times,
it's a
you know?
huge challenge, and it's like something it's like when I heard it, it's like, oh, I have never thought of it, although it's like everywhere.
Yeah.
All the spiritual traditions probably share that. They maybe don't express it like this, but it was like oh, yeah, peace with what is. Like, I
Yeah.
suddenly saw how I was like grasping, grasping on
Mhm.
wanting something instead of like being with something, like anything, just being with life just as it is. Um, it's been a huge
Yeah.
relief.
And I think it's like when you, like, I think I'm in this moment too of like, okay, girl, like, let's just be here today. Cause like if my, like, sort of, if I'm striving for peace, that means I'm gonna have to figure out a way to be,
Mm.
just do the day, just be here for the day. And I think now I'm like it's starting to click too for me. And I think that usually when it's starting to click, because I've read, how much have we read about this? I mean, I think everyone knows this concept, right? Be present. And there's so many different ways of like looking at it or saying it. But like, I think when it finally hits, it's like you're finally ready to do it somehow. Like it's an emotional understanding rather than an intellectual understanding. It's like
Yeah,
your
yeah.
body is recognizing it now. It's not just the mind, it's the body also.
It's like
That's
you've had enough of it in a way.
had
Like
enough
your
of
body
it.
had
It's
enough of it.
exhausting. I mean, talk about exhaustion. Like that's the shit that's exhausting. I'm like, oh my God, like really? I'm like, how many are we gonna do this like for the rest of my life or what? Like it's because I don't want that, do you? I mean, this like,
Yeah.
the mental masturbation, I
You
love
were
the
saying that
the
last time.
mentally
Yeah, yeah.
masturbating. Yeah.
Yes. And like I just feel this like kind of silence vibe coming to like really actually integrate this piece that we can have together right now in the
Mhm.
conversation, and
Yeah.
really tuning into that and what it is transmitting to us, like
Mhm.
a big thing that has been coming as well is realizing how much I was like, to be honest, I feel like it's a metaphor, but I feel like a rehab drug addict.
Yeah.
I totally feel like I'm totally on a calm down of a huge trip, which hasn't been just bad or anything. I think it's totally helped me embody myself and like tuning with my essence. But on the way, I feel like I reached a place, and maybe that's part of the journey, but where I was looking for a high, through art and
Mm-hmm.
through when I was traveling a lot, playing shows. And I was it's a wonderful life. It's very exciting, but I do feel like it's a little bit how people search for higher stage of consciousness through substances, and with the way I was living it, and I see it in a lot of other people that I've met. I observe it that it's like a search for this like simple, dopamine hit or
Yeah.
adrenaline. Yeah, both of them. And how now I'm completely learning how to like just being living a normal life.
Yeah.
Something that I would judge a lot before. I'd be like, that's so boring. I just live for the stage, which I still love, like, because I see the stage as a sacred space. This is more like my point of view. I'm not on stage because I wanna be this rock star or anything. And I do like to be seen, but like as I feel like it's like that's another topic, but I will just do it quickly. Is that it's just like I feel the earth is seen. That's why I like to do it. But now there has been a kind of moment of really like, can I actually just like cooking pasta and like cleaning my flat and like find this really amazing, and just the people around me. I live in like a tiny village with like, most people would say, oh, this is so boring, these people are boring, but can I just look at like the being that's in front of me and like all the trees that are around me and just enjoy like real life instead of trying to live a movie, trying to create a movie, like getting highs of. And I think there's nothing wrong about living the best life and like wanting to travel, and I think that's wonderful. It's just that it's also amazing to live a normal life. I'm really learning that. And as you said, I've just got a new job, and that's been so relieving for me. I just keep having this phrase, is like, sometimes the most healing thing is not to go on a retreat in Himalaya, it's like getting 9 to 5 and work in a corporation. That is for me right now the most healing thing. And like everyone's shocked around me, but it does bring me a lot of financial stability, and it just make me connect with like normal life, so-called normal life. And anyway, I've talked a lot, so I let you.
No, yeah, it all resonates for sure with me. Like in sort of the world of like manifestation or just creating things, there's an active and there's a passive side to creation, right? And so like there's times to be super active and going for things, and there's a time for passivity and just being and just sitting. And I think so I think that makes for actually like a good creative process, but just for like a good life, because like I think like this chasing of this like, the thrill, the like action, the romance, it's all, like you said, a beautiful part of life. And like I would die without like the action part and the like the you eat it, just like this like delicious, like I'm just like
the
drinking
juiciness,
up and eating up life. I'm like, oh, I want it all, but like it's times we just gotta like chill the fuck out, and like and sit with ourselves, because when we're doing this the whole time, we're not really giving the space to just be with ourselves and also be with what comes up. And I think that can also be difficult at times too. But just because when we're more silent, we're doing the mundane stuff, it could be boring, but also it could be like maybe stuff comes up, and so, but I think it's like super important, because there is like that's where you, I think, find your anchor. I think that's where we find the anchor, because our anchor can't be through, I think for myself, this is what I'm realizing, it has to be through not my identification with my art or the experience or what I'm making or what I'm doing, but it has to be in myself and me just being good inside me, with me, just chilling, I am the anchor. And if I'm looking for the thrill or the excitement or this recognition or whatever as the only anchor, then it's not going to be a very like stable life,
Yeah, absolutely. I have had this help as well from like deeply connecting to earth, like literally like feeling rooted in the soil and the earth, really like energetically feeling that grounding, that anchor. Absolutely. And also connecting to rest. Absolutely, like just resting, just resting. And instead of pushing with wanting to make things work and wanting that hit. Really
Yeah.
putting into effortlessness, the really understanding the effortless effort.
Yeah.
I think that comes from the Taoism, the Wu Wei, the effortless effort. Um, that,
Yeah, like because you're saying this, I think, because I'm curious to hear what your thoughts are, but like I've been thinking about like, okay, this concept of peace, inner peace, it's such an abstract thing, as
yeah,
is any like thing like love or hate, so I'm like, so I've been thinking about to myself, like, how can I make this more concrete? How can I make the like attainment of peace, I mean, like, whatever, it's a lifelong journey, but but like if I want peace, I need to make it more real for me. Like, what are my actions? What actions do I need to take to be at peace?
yeah,
And once I started finding answers to that, it became more tangible, because then you could,
yeah,
like, there's things you can do, to align to that energy. And yeah, it is, sometimes it's just rest, but like sometimes it's just rest. It's like taking a yoga class once a week at the same time. It's like
yeah.
getting a daily planner and like
I like it.
writing down what the hell you're doing and how you're, how many hours a week you're working or this or that. It's like really it's like structure, creating a structure is like an action that really, I think, helps.
Yeah, and
And
as you said that, also all the things you can not do. What can you
yeah,
not do to find
exactly.
your peace? Like,
Yeah. And what can we not do?
what can you not do? Yeah. Yes. And a huge,
Not thinking much.
huge thing also that has been really a huge guide has been humility, and like related to that, like search for a high, just feeling humble,
Yeah.
like getting a bit down from the, the
Yeah. Like wanting to be the most special, most brilliant, creative,
most unique thing
whatever
in the
the
universe, just like humbling down and like,
yeah.
down to earth, and also accepting, like, again, with like peace with what is, just the word acceptance is very
Yeah.
liberating, I find. And that, wow, when I say this, I do feel like this inner peace, like the accepting. I accept and I
Yeah.
appreciate. It's appreciation is so connected to humility for me. It's like, yeah, just appreciating, like people around you that just like, they don't even do anything, but they help you out just by
Yeah.
being there.
Yeah. Gratitude. Like this, another way of saying it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the gratitude for what is
Yeah.
already here.
In my kind of perception, I feel like I hear it a lot, gratitude. So maybe it has lost. No, it hasn't. It's still strong, but the fact that I kind of have had more awareness on the word appreciation, kind of
Yeah.
like, again, kind of like boosted it, and I feel like it resonates in things
Yeah.
around me.
Yeah.
Deep appreciation. And power of community in a way. I don't know why this comes to me, but finding peace in the in this humility you get when you connect with the people around you. Like, how can I say that? Like, just like, people around you that you kind of take for granted, maybe not so much, but it's normal, it's just around you, you see it all the time. So, and like, just like shining that light of like, oh, can I enjoy normal life, and shining that light with things that are around you, people that are around you. Can I enjoy normal life and be at peace with what is right now? It's like you feel so rich.
So, totally. Because
You
it's
feel
like,
rich and full.
yeah, totally. Because connection is everything. It's like, it's what we're talking about, love now, right? This just like
Yeah, very
heart to heart with
interesting.
someone, and because it takes us also, for
Wow.
me, it takes me out of the narcissistic bubble of like, oh, like, how special am I? How, what am I going to make? What am I going to do? Who am I? What's my voice? This like total, all like good questions, because if we're creators, we have to be thinking in these ways at times, but like then it's just me, and then that's exhausting and it's really boring. I mean, don't you get bored by it? I mean, ultimately it's like super boring. I find
Yeah,
myself
yeah,
over time
yeah. It's like
bored.
completely like and then what?
Then what? Okay, exactly.
I feel like these things have also changed a lot. It's like there is no filter anymore. There are relationships I just cannot take in anymore, or like words I cannot take in anymore. And
Yeah,
it's not that I'm like but just doesn't go through. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Maybe
I mean,
because I understand more what is peace for me, or like I embody it more. So it's like naturally you kind of say no in a way
mhm,
without saying no, but a part of you is like, no, like my peace is more precious
yeah,
than this trouble.
yeah, yeah. Allowing like the boundaries, right? Boundaries in your life with people who,
Yeah.
yeah, setting boundaries, because that is also about peace, right? Because I think, I mean, having been a therapist and have like been a helper throughout my life and no longer wanting that role at all, because it's not a peaceful role to be
Mm.
having
Mm.
all these people's energies in your space. And so I think it's really, that's also an art, is learning how to like, yeah, uh, have boundaries with others, and
It's
also
really,
be
really
open,
interesting. Yeah.
be like sharing, and like, here I am and here you are, and let's mix and, and create and co-create in this space, but also let's not take on each other's shit either. Because I mean, I've been thinking about that like a lot with like family stuff, like how,
Yeah.
like coming from families that are suffering a
Yeah.
lot all the time. And I'm like, all right, so that's in the collective field as well. And like, how do you find peace in your life when the people around you are suffering?
Mm.
You
Mm.
know?
That was something we were talking about
Yeah.
last time.
And it's, I think that's a big challenge, but ultimately I think part of it is not taking responsibility, right? For anyone's
Hmm.
pain, anyone's path. And
Yeah, it can be a tough one, hey?
mhm,
Um, Somehow it's part of a journey, and when you need to retreat and find your own peace, you have to do it. It's just how it is. You have to
yeah.
go away and find your peace. This sometimes is what helps other people the most,
Mhm,
because there's no point in drowning altogether if it's a huge chaotic situation and you
yeah.
cannot find your inner peace in a family situation, for example. It's you have to.
Yeah,
um,
exactly. And also like one revelation is becoming to me even stronger. I mean, been a theme, but like my investment in other people's, like, I know I can hold space for other people, like with my eyes closed. I know like the impact I have on others, and I on some level like that. I know I know my power in that sense, but like this also, like, this worry or this maybe concern too much or feeling into other people's fields is really taking away from me going deeper into my own field, and that
mhm.
it's like this avoidance of my own
Yeah,
suffering on some level.
yeah.
And so going back to peace, it's ultimately we have to be good with ourselves. And uh, yeah,
That's where it begins.
yeah, yeah,
Mm, mm. Let's stay with that for a moment. It's really powerful.
Mm. I just wanted to make a comment. I noticed twice you're saying, let's take a minute and feel into that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, something that was said, and I think it's like super important, this thing.
Yeah, this
I
thing,
mean,
yeah.
yeah, this slowing down and stopping and feeling
Mm,
into your body, what's going through in that moment. I mean, I have
mm.
a tendency to talk, fast, and I'm just like, like, and I'm realizing more and more this important thing that you're doing, which is like, okay, stop, let's feel.
Yeah, and actually something that opposite happened to me was like to realize that, because I've also had huge panics, like
Mhm.
serious panics, and just I found some like YouTube help that was like, sometimes you don't need to feel in these moments, you don't, like in this
Mhm.
specific case it's like, actually imagine this like little um knob that you turn down to one, because you're so full of emotion. If you feel it,
Yeah,
you're really into it, and
yeah.
like just put it, like it's different from what you were saying, but it
Mhm.
reminded me of this really important thing I realized for me in my case, that, oh, turning things down, and yeah, and coming back to what you're saying, to like, oh, feeling the more calm space,
Mhm. Yeah,
pausing,
yeah.
yeah,
And that's also, I think, um, and knowing the difference when you need to like turn off the emotion meter.
exactly, that's what you're saying, like knowing,
Yeah,
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 and knowing, pausing to know where you're
yeah.
at, where am I at, It's like,
Mhm.
mm,
Exactly. Yeah, and so what I was, yeah, the feeling I was having in our discussion was you were just kind of like, yeah, and it felt good because you were like slowing down. Just, let's stop and let's feel, because none of us are like in the middle of a panic attack, I don't think. Not that I know of, like, you know. But so yeah, we don't need to like, yeah, do the other thing. But it is in this is knowing yourself, right? Knowing your body, what it's speaking, what it's saying, and yeah,
yeah, yeah,
responding.
yeah,
I mean, and everything goes under the peace umbrella, doesn't it?
yes. I feel like our bodies are such good thermometers in a way. I mean, like, is that the good word? I don't know, but like and it's not like something I can do so easily. I think it's taking me time to knowing how to use my body or connect with my body to,
Yeah,
so because if you listen your body, it tells you what's going on. Like if
yeah,
there's too much stress, or there's not enough exercise, or like, it's like the
mhm,
basic things,
yeah,
even though there are things like being, like having cravings or things like that, but maybe
mhm,
these also show you something, actually.
mhm, yeah,
And actually, when you think about inner peace, it's all about the body, like all these like kind of Buddhist traditions, for example. You
mhm,
find inner peace through like really concentrating on your body,
mhm,
sitting and feeling the body, and like recalibrate. I really
yeah,
like this word, recalibration,
mhm,
going from one state to another. Um,
yeah. The breath, right? Doesn't that help? There's like two things.
yes,
So the breath, right? Breathing to just calm the nervous system when it's going super fast. But this,
yeah,
the om, like the
yeah.
meaning of the word om is everything is good as it is. This like that's my translation. I don't know if that's like the exact right thing. I'm
Mm,
like, oh my God, this is because then you're like oming, as I've been oming, because
mm,
then you're feeling this vibration of this word go through your body, and I don't know. Now that I know the meaning of it in that way, like sometimes
mm, mm.
I'm like a bit like, yeah, you say
This is
om.
super interesting, because on a more physiological level, I realized, I do practice Om Ahong. It's a Tibetan tiny mantra. Like Om is like for the kind of clearing the body. Ah is for clearing the speech. Hong
Ah,
is clearing the mind, or like the mind is also like, in the heart in Tibet.
mhm,
And I realized on a physiological level that this is really an amazing practice to as you said, you talk about the nervous system to really regulate your nervous system with this, the vagus nerve. It's like a
Yes.
huge nerve we have, and that is actually a friend of yours that has told me about this, Verena. She told me about the vagus nerve and how important it is to that it controls your sympathetic or parasympathetic system. I can't remember. I should know this better now. But basically, it really controls your peaceful state, your calm, the way you can be calm and like regulate, the just the chemicals in your body, like in relation to your nervous system or your nervous systems. Because it's all about this channel. It's like all these eco projects, like realizing we don't just have the brain nervous system, we have the heart nervous system, we also have the gut nervous system.
The gut nervous system. And this vagus nerve goes all the way down into, it starts from behind here.
Interesting.
Like, yeah. And it's all the trauma work and all the, it's now all around the vagus nerve and how to.
Oh, I can't hear you. Oh, I hear you now.
Yeah, how to just because it's not working so well when you've been traumatized throughout your life, and so it's how to I don't know what the word would be. I'm losing all my psychology lingo, but but how to like make it work properly again. And so there's exercises sometimes
to regulate.
Just like basic exercises and the sound and
exactly. That's why I talked about it, because I realized how mantras on a physiological level really help with that. Deeply, like just to, or like there is this thing of like, it's like one of the exercises that like you let it go.
Good.
but like the or is also like
and it's up. And I think also like it's more active, so sometimes breathing doesn't feel like it's enough, like it's like somehow when you're in a state, I can't breathe, you can't do it, or you feel like you can't do it, but it's like using your voice, there's an extra effort, and I don't know, there's something more tangible to that somehow. So
the voice of the earth. Yeah. Yeah. Also, after these 2 years of like a lot of like craziness happening in all levels, society, inside ourselves, inside our homes, inside our politics, inside the whole spectrum of life, I do feel there is some kind of peace going on.
That there's a wave.
There is some kind of like of course it's subjective, everyone has a different experience at every moment.
But I've been feeling that a lot of people were having a really rough time this winter, especially this past year was like I think the hardest for most people. And that people are also feeling now there's a coming out of it, so and that is some peace, I would say, in that. We've been riding a wave, one big wave.
The life is full of waves, and
maybe I was like thinking about what you said before, going back to the theme of like getting a job,
getting what?
Getting a job that's completely unrelated to something creative, because as I actually do, what helps me, like I said before, is asking what do I need to actually, what steps, identifiable steps to make this thing of peace less abstract for myself. And so I was thinking, oh my God, like I was so I'm thinking about like being like a delivery girl, like getting on a bike, being talking to people. I told you. And this and about a year ago, I was doing some work at a gallery, and I was like putting labels, stamps and labels on envelopes, tons of them, you know, it was like
Yeah.
hundreds and hundreds. And I was like, this is the best thing in the world, you know, so much fun. I'm like, this is the best, you know, it was like so meditative. And I think it was just like calming me because it's so mundane.
Yes, yeah.
Structure for the creativity to, you know, I really think whatever way your structure is, you know, for it's different for everybody, but if we don't have the structure, we can't really blast off into the like next universe because we won't feel, you know, sturdy enough, you know. So the structure can be a daily book, of diary, whatever, planner. It could be a 9-to-5 job, it could be whatever the fuck, you know, it is for you, but it's so important.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm totally I'm totally learning this right now, literally, because I work for like, I think I can't really say the name, but everyone will understand. I work for like a really big social media, or like not directly, but in connection with a big social media company, and I'm really learning the structure and how it works. And wow, I'm so amazed by it. I'm like, oh, what is this system built on? It's so intelligent, it's so clever, and it works so well. I'm really inspired by it. I'm like, I'm learning so much from this, you know, like the how I love this term that a person who was training me used. It was the arborescence. The arborescence, like it was in French, but I think it's also an English word. Arborescence is like how a thing is built like a tree, how it, like, you know, branches out. He was like, you need to learn the arborescence, how it works. Like this was exactly it. Like, and that like illuminated me. I was like, oh, arborescence.
Yeah, what a cool word. I love that. Yeah, arborescence.
I love this word. And I was really amazed to see how the system, the structure works.
So you're talking about the structure of social media in and of itself, because there's also the other discussion about like the whole advertising part of it, the one, you know, the privacy. But I imagine you're talking about
yeah. I'm talking about the like the basic like the softwares and how it's built up, you know, like but this whole structure thing is like another amazing topic we should explore in another podcast, because I think it's very, very important for the creative practice, and for like truly being able to express yourself as an authentic person. And like I do feel like it's so important, because this is huge misunderstanding of like seeing artists of like people who like fly all the time and everything. And I think that's very dangerous, actually. Dangerous because unless you're very, very privileged and you can fly all the time, you might burn yourself out, or actually fall from very high.
Icarus.
With at least with how our society is built nowadays, it's very important to be grounded and know your structures and how you can provide for yourself, and with the goal of providing for others too. There's a lot of amazing topics to explore here. But yeah, maybe like it's been almost 1 hour, so maybe we can close soon and like come back to the peace topic.
Are we went to another topic, do you feel, or
not to another topic? It's still related, but I found that it would be amazing topics to develop, like structure. Exactly. I think structure is a whole new podcast. Is amazing. It's so important to talk about it. I think together, especially because we are both very interested in that topic, and in our own ways have developed like our inner empires of structure. And we inspire each other a lot on that. We teach each other a lot.
That's why we're in Germany. I'm like, that's why I came to Germany, to learn structure. That's why I'm here.
Makes
I got
sense.
that. I got that right. Yeah.
That makes sense. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm.
So, I mean, and how much time do we have
We
here?
have time now. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Are you thinking, I mean, I think, okay, so we got this, like, in terms of peace, I see peace as like, for me, there's been two aspects to it. One is for sure the structure, right? This is like building a structure.
Mm-hmm. Having
Um,
this structure really helps you be in peace, because otherwise we are we are how to say, we are animals, how to say this. We need we have basic needs, like
yeah,
I don't know, how can you think everything's just gonna roll? You need to have money in this world.
you need some money. You need to have a home, like
You
something
need to have
basic.
a home to have money to pay the home. Even if you want to live off grid or whatever, you need money, man. You need money to like make it work.
Exactly. It's like survival. It's a survival anxiety, I think you were feeling, right? It's
Yeah,
just like
yeah,
this
exactly,
basic
exactly.
survival thing. It's like, I need the basic shit, because you need the basic shit before you go
Exactly.
up the night.
Yeah, yeah, you need this. So you're like, just, you're peaceful. Stop worrying at every minute and second of the day, and like truly enjoy your life, just
Yeah.
truly. Doesn't mean that you want to be a millionaire or anything. It's just that you want to just be, chill.
Chill. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, the other thing I was thinking about was perfectionism, and like this sneaky way the ego comes in to create in it like a lack of peace, I think, about like, the inner dialogues of, for me, it's sometimes not even so loud, but it's like I have to be, there, like somewhere faster, like ahead. I'm
Yeah.
not where it should be, or what am I doing? Is my voice clear enough? Is this, that, uh, 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 and I'm like, oh my God, like, and it's like, really, it is perfectionism.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And the pressure, there's like this pressure.
Overthinking. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, this causes a lot of, and that's a big energy suck.
Yes, yes.
But
Oh, yeah. Like draining down your energy is like really something people don't realize enough,
yeah.
there's like clearing. These people know a lot about like meditating to clear your mind, to clear yourself.
Mhm.
And something else that people forget is like to actually bring in good energies. But the
Mm,
most important is don't drain.
yeah.
Don't drain it out. We're doing so many things that are draining, and that is something I'm really like learning to do. Not drain myself with like
Yeah.
lots of like people asking things, and
Mm,
finding a
yeah.
way to give without draining.
Hmm. Yeah,
Receive,
exactly.
give, and don't drain.
Don't drain. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's really tricky at times. That's where I think it's always I've been super grateful for my career, as a psychologist, but having been in so much therapy myself, like gaining this inner awareness of yourself. Because a lot of times I think we don't even know, like, even all the therapy I've been in, like, I'm like, it's always surprising, a new layer of stuff comes up. I'm like, God damn, like, wow, I didn't realize I was putting this pressure on myself. Like, it was
Yeah,
like, it's like
yeah,
more of a silent, and I'm like, but I'm tired, and like, I'm realizing these things, and I'm like, realizing if I go in there, what I'm doing to myself,
yeah,
you know,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah. Totally,
and
I
you have to
totally
slow
relate.
down. Yeah, and this is where the slowing down comes in. Because when you start really truly slowing down, then you start seeing all your stuff you're doing to yourself, in your head. All the thinking that's
Yeah,
not really doing us any good.
yeah.
So yeah, there's nothing to rush for, nowhere to be, nowhere to go, no one to be.
It's already here.
Mhm.
Everything is here already.
Yeah.
Oh, Really, really nice.
Mm.
Cool. I'm looking forward to have another talk about these other things. I love how
Yeah.
these discussions are like really, intertwining as they
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
yeah, did you have anything last to add?
Mm, anything last to add? I don't think so. No,
We
I
can
think
see your beautiful painting on the left of the image.
yeah.
This is one of Danielle's wonderful paintings that actually I think bring a lot of peace. Really
Oh
beautiful
yeah.
colors, and you also have these beautiful paintings that are made of lots of little circles like cells, and
Mm.
use these special colors all together, color palettes. And I do invite everyone to check Danielle's website that I will link in the description. You can also check all my links, and yeah, leave us some comments. If you have ideas about peace, we'd love to read you, and we'll probably be back together soon at some point, right?
Look forward to that. Yeah. Next
So
chapter.
thank you all for watching, for listening to us, and we'll see you very soon.